Hello viewers and welcome to Le Mans 1 hour endurance race. This is a new race to Forza right now and it's absolute blast to do, providing you survive the first lap, to be fair. We're going to choose the hard tyres because hard tyres seem to last about 7 laps on this race, give or take. The medium tyres last about 5 laps, 4 to 5 laps, pushing it probably at the end of the 5th lap. So choosing the hard tyres is probably the better strategy because the less time you're in the pits, the more time you are on the road. Heading to the starting grid, we're going to start in position 13, so pretty much down the pack. We're going to have a full tank of fuel as well. Now, that is another thing to bear in mind. A full tank of fuel will only last between 12 to 13 laps, so we are going to have to fuel up at some point as well. Keeping to the outside of this track, trying to survive the first corner, and then we get rear-ended and off into the gravel we go. Not a bad start overall. We're already at the back of the pack. Yeah, it can be a bit messy to start off, but it does seem to settle down throughout the race. Well, most of the races anyway. I found it very hard to find a good start to any of the races I've been doing all afternoon. Anyway, get rear-ended again, into the car in front we go, and then the car to my left hand side, we collide and I again meet the wall. Deep breath. Take a deep breath. We can do this. It's only a case of catching up. Letting the car on my right hand side take that position, going off track, and luckily enough not getting a penalty. But because we're running zero downforce on this car is an absolute animal in the straight line. We can see we're getting a bit of slipstream from that Porsche in front, sending it straight past them, and over 200 miles an hour we go. Catching up to the cars in front, we're over 210 miles per hour now. Looking out for the left hand side for the 200 meter board. Just after that, start braking down to second gear, into the corner we go, down into first gear, and trying to get a better rotation of the car, accelerating out. Be mindful when you are in first gear, this car will spin its wheels and it will quickly unbalance itself. So apply the power gently and start catching up to the cars in front. Now we're going to overtake P14 and keep to our right hand side, looking out for the watchtower, and that'll be our next braking point. The car behind didn't realise that was our braking point and ends up going in the back of me and sending me off to the gravel we go again. Little things like that can be so frustrating. Don't let it get under your skin. Try and take a breath and try it again. This race is 1 hour long. We don't win on lap 1, we win towards the end of the race. Providing you're not too far back, you can see position 1 is 19 seconds away. Now, if you're 2 seconds a lap quicker than them throughout the whole of the race, you're going to make that time right back up on them. And it is quite easy to find 2 seconds a lap, considering the lap is about 3 minutes and 20 or 3 minutes 30 seconds long. So 2 seconds can be found quite easily. Sending it down the straight now, we're in position 15, made a few places thanks to the chaos at the end of the straight. Flat out down the section, you see we're catching up to the cars in front. But are we going to be able to catch up in time to make a move? A bit of chaos erupts in front. I move out the way, off the track we go, and I get myself a 0.8 second penalty. I do think the penalty system needs looking at throughout this race because a pixel or 2 off the track does give you a penalty, and those little penalties do count up quite quickly. I think they need to be a bit more lenient on this race. I've got to be honest with you. There's a lot of contact and there's a lot of corner cutting or mistakes to be made. If you know, bad judgment. You know, sometimes you take a corner, you've done it 100 times, and sometimes you take it 1 or 2 pixels earlier and you go off track and get slapped with a 1 second penalty or 0.8 second penalty. It is quite frustrating, and considering you're on here for an hour, I think it does need to be a little bit more lenient. Maybe just move the track limits out of the way a little bit more. Coming up the inside now in 4th gear, trying to watch out what this car is doing around because they seem to be sliding everywhere. And you have to really be mindful of everything that's around you because it is quite chaotic. Anyway, we have survived 1 lap, albeit with a fair few scratches on the car. But we have made it. We're in position 12 right now, and that is not a bad place. We've actually gained 1 place from when we started. We do have a lot more to go through, but we also have another 15 laps to go through as well. Coming round here, braking down to second gear and turning in. Over the curb we go. Bring it over to the right side. Be careful of those sausages I went over. It can unbalance the car, but it's not too bad overall. Like I said, I've got quite a soft setup in this car with zero downforce, so it is quite smooth over the curbs. As that person clearly demonstrated, the Porsche can be quite twitchy. Coming around in third gear, over the curb, accelerating at the other side, and then passing the two cars that made friends with each other. Right, we are now 4.6 seconds away from exploding Segway in position 8. They do have a 2.25 second penalty to go with it, and position 1 is 27 seconds away. That is quite a lead they have on us, which can only get better or worse as the race goes on. Let's say 1 hour of this, and if you are 1 or 2 seconds a lap slower than they are, that will only increase. There is another thing I'd like to point out that hasn't been considered really, is once the leader of the race has gone over the finish line, we only have 2 minutes for everybody else to also come over that finish line, else they will end up with a DNF. Bearing in mind, I've already said it 1,000 times, this race is an hour long. If you're 1 second a lap slower than everybody else, that's 17 seconds. If you are 3 or 4 seconds a lap slower than everybody else, that is more than 2 minutes at the end of the race. Not everybody is quick. Now, you do get some people that are absolutely aliens on this track and will set a ridiculous time that nobody can compete with because they are just that good. And then you get other people that's just joined Forza and have no idea what's going on and just can't compete with that kind of level. And so I do think that the end of the race should be extended, but I also believe once you cross over that finish line, you should be able to leave and not have to wait around for everybody else to cross over that line as well. I think it needs to be looked at and to be a bit more fairer. Anyway, we are in position 9, 0.8 second penalty, catching up to exploding Segway up in front. They are 3 seconds ahead right now, turning in second gear, accelerating out the other side, looking on your left hand side for the second sign from the end, braking down the first gear, over the curb we go, accelerating out the other side. 1.92 seconds away from them, but we are still 28 seconds away from the leader. Jumping ahead to the start of lap 6, we are in position 4, which is not too bad because a few cars are in the pits. Our tyres are starting to wear. One thing I did read somewhere was that Forza has now changed the tyre wear so it's far more linear rather than being a light switch, and if you think this is a great improvement, hit that like button. I do think we're not too far away from hitting minor wear on the rear tyres, so we do have to bear that in mind. I also managed to give myself another penalty, so we are now sitting at a 1.9 second penalty. I think it was an off track and I had contact with another car. Coming down the straight section, they outbraked me and ended up just touching their back end. I waited for them to be back on the racing track and then we carried on racing together. I think that's a fair strategy to go through. The contact was unintentional. We was coming down this section and they just braked better than I did. We are now 7 seconds away from Rory Nash 96. That is in position 3. Super Ninja is 4.1 seconds behind me with an 8.3 second penalty. That is huge. Okay, so the car in front, Rory Nash, has already pitted. Wow, they was quick. How can you be in the pits already? Were they on soft or medium tyres to start the race off? They must have been on medium tyres to start the race and have had to go through the pits. Maybe this strategy is quite good if you go to medium, hard, hard. Because what I intend on doing is going hard, hard, mediums. And that's the maths I worked out to be the best in my head. I could be wrong, it could be a bad choice, but we're going to soon find out. The rear tyres are now on minor wear, so I'm going to have to be quite gentle as we go around this track. Super Ninja has been reeling me in. I wonder if they're on medium tyres. And I do slip around off the track we go. Oh no. Ooh, that's not too bad. The next player is 25 seconds away. Okay, stay straight. We can do it. Go on, power, power. Wow, everybody on my board has a penalty. Ooh, okay. Like I say, it is so easy to get a penalty and we have 1 hour of doing this. I do think it does need looking at. Anyway, into the pits we go. We're going to choose hard tyres again because that's the end of lap 6, start of lap 7. That'll be lap 13 to lap 14, give or take, for the next set of hard tyres. And then we only got a couple of laps to go after that to go into medium tyres. I'm going to add some fuel, so we have 10.8 laps of fuel overall. It's actually quite quick filling up your car. 0.89 seconds. I do think it should be a little bit longer than that. As we are in the pits, I'd just like to take a moment to thank our channel members, which is Andy Good, Jeffrey Anderson, DMC Motorsport and Phoenix Aster. As we're now exiting the pits, I can hear a few cars going past us right now, so I do wonder as we exit what position we are going to be in. We are leaving the pits in position 9. Not too bad overall. Got an off track there for some reason, but I'm sure it will disappear. Let's settle in for the nighttime race, and hopefully the cars in front may fall off the track. I'm not going to push it as hard as I can because I'm trying to be considerate of the tyres as well as the fuel and try and remain consistent overall. I'd rather be consistent than pushing myself all the time and falling off the track, and it then really resulting in me losing time overall. We are now 20 seconds away from position 10, but also 8 seconds away from position 8. Start of lap 10. Alan Gustavo has managed to reel me in a little bit. They are 2 seconds away from me right now. They have been in the pit for the second time. So I do believe they're doing a medium strategy. But they also have quite a large penalty. Also, I've managed to get a few more penalties to go along with it. A little bit off tracks here and there. You know, as you come over towards the start line, a pixel here or there, and you get a penalty for it. Coming around here now, unsettled the car and unable to regain control of it. Oh, it's little mistakes like that really does cost you time, and the car does take a little bit of time to get rolling again. Luckily enough, position 10 is 25 seconds away, so I do have a little bit of area to breathe. Unluckily enough, position 1 has managed to gain quite a substantial amount of time on me. It's not easy to try and be consistent through 1 hour and not get distracted, especially a person like myself. Like, you know, I get distracted at a tree in the game, like, you know, and I've missed a breaking point like an absolute muppet. You know, you're doing the lap after lap after lap after lap, and because I'm on my own as well, it's quite hard to judge your own pace unless you see the split coming up. So you're not sure if you're keeping in the right time frame. I'm trying to judge my pacing from the cars in front and the cars behind. Providing I keep the same time difference between the both of them, I can see that as an okay pace. But that could also be quite wrong, because if the car in front has worn tyres and is going quite slow, you're going to catch up to them and you're thinking to yourself, okay, they've obviously worn tyres out, but still am I being consistent with my own times. My best lap up to now is a 3 minutes 40 seconds. I know I can do better than that, but I'm not going to push the car too much. I do have to try and save on these tyres whilst trying to save on fuel as well. We have got 7 laps of fuel remaining, but we only halfway through lap 10. We still have another 7 laps to go after this. So I'm not going to absolutely hammer the daylights out the car and try and catch up a few attempts when I can more or less fuel save and try and avoid going to a pits more than one more time. You see, the front tyres are quite cold at the moment. Well, we're not really using them that much, to be fair, coming down these straights. Braking into this corner, down a second gear and turning in. Accelerating out the other side, applying the power gently, keeping to your left hand side, looking out for the second board. There it is, down the first gear and locking up a little bit as we're braking into this corner, accelerating out the other side. Lap 12, we're now position 6. A couple of more cars have gone into the pits, but that does mean they're on a medium tyre strategy, so throughout the race they're going to start catching me back up. I have lost a few seconds from Alan Gustavo in position 5 whilst we are making our way up through the list. Bearing in mind also, I think I'm going to have to pit this at the end of this lap. I don't think the tyres are going to go for another round. Look at them right now, I'm probably just on the edge of minor wear. Coming up to the end of lap 12, Daylight is now starting to come upon us. Rear tyres are quite worn. You can see right now that on mine are wear. The front tyres cannot be too far behind. But Alan Gustavo is 11 seconds ahead of us right now, and more than likely in the pits, to be fair. Unless, yeah, they are there on their second pit entry now. I'm going to send it around this track as gently as we can. I don't want to go off track again with the worn tyres. I don't want to try and lose another 10 seconds trying to get myself straightened out and let N Quantum Shift have that position. Going to go into the pits again now. I am not going to fuel up, but what I am going to do is going to choose the medium tyres. Because really, we only have 5 laps left to go, so medium tyres should be able to cover it. We do only have 4 laps of fuel remaining. Now, the problem is I can't just put 1 lap worth of fuel in. The least I could put in is 40% fuel, which gives me an extra 5.3 estimated laps. Way too much. I don't want to carry that amount of fuel, so I'm going to try and fuel save whilst also having better tyres. Sounds quite peculiar, but we're going to have to make it work, as the engine noise doesn't work as we exit the pit again. We have heard a car go past us right now, so we've clearly lost their position. What we're going to come out as position 8. Okay, we can make that work. I can see him on the map, not too far away, and I do have the medium tyres. They may well be on the hard tyres as I forget to brake. Too busy staring at the map and not realising that the track might have turns in it. Who would have thought, you know? Anyway, sending it through here now, you can see medium tyres are a huge benefit on grip wise compared to hard tyres, and I'm still trying to find the feet of where the medium tyres can go. It is quite hard to go from hard to hard tyres and go, do you know what, I've got a mountain more grip on medium tyres, I can really push this car. It is weird, like, you know. Anyway, we do have Mezzimeister 9502 behind us, 26.9 seconds away with a 6-second penalty. P7 is TR Rex with no penalty. Well done, buddy, no penalty. Can only say congratulations to you, but they're only 10.5 seconds away. Now we can see the track much better with the light upon us. It is a glorious weather actually, to be fair, and look how pretty it is as the sun rises. I think Forza have done a great job in this lobby right now with having a day and night cycle and making it look as pretty as it is. And it's not like it was when I'll show you the previous races where the weather changes and the light changes were so drastic. It's so smooth, you don't even realise it. It's really, really well done, and I can only say congratulations to them for that. We are gaining on position 7 right now, so I'm going to really start getting hammered down and see if I can make more of a move upon them and actually overtake them, because really towards the latter half of this race I really want to send it and try and gain a few more positions. I do have to be mindful of my fuel usage, so I am braking a bit earlier than I usually do, letting the car coast into the corner and not giving it everything it's got as I'm coming out of the corner, more changing gears a little bit earlier and just using the tyres to make myself faster rather than make the engine make me faster, if you understand what I mean. I probably could have said that a much better way, but I chose the most difficult one. Lap 14, well, the end of lap 14, we have managed to catch up to the 2 cars up in front. We're going to see if we can try and make a move upon them. I do believe they may well be on the hard tyres. I've really caught up to them. So I can only suggest they're on hard tyres. So we're going to come out of this corner now, use the engine power and the brute force this thing has, and see if we can make that work. And Quantum Shift and T-Rex, there we go, trying to figure out what that car in front is doing. T-Rex goes up behind me, and I'm going to try and see if we can get past Quantum. Going through this corner quite slowly, to be fair, so I'm going to go nip up the inside and power my way out of it as much as I can. You can see them backing off. I did notice that in this lobby there is a lot of ping related issues, so you see people skitting around quite a lot. I think it might be quite hard for this server to run what is going on here. I think it is either struggling, or we do have a lot of mixed lobbies coming into one or the other. Either way, we have the position gain. We are now in P6. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to catch up to Alan Gustavo, 16.2 seconds away. It's going to be tight. I mean, that means I've got to find, what, 7 seconds a lap? Oof. That is quite a tall order, to be fair, and I only have 3 laps of fuel left. Okay, can we make this work? I'm certainly not going to get P1 because that person is 95 seconds away. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, towards the end of the race, that 2 minutes is not enough time for everybody. Now, I am not the best at Le Mans, and I'm certainly not the best in this car, but I am not the worst either. I'm quite mid-range, I would say. So being 95 seconds away is quite a lead, and only having 2 minutes to finish the race is quite daunting, and it's a bit unfair to everybody else. Let me know down in the comments below if you think that the end race timer should be extended. Lap 17, our final lap. We made it this far. You can see my tyres are starting to show quite a lot of wear. I'm quite nervous about the tyres because I wonder if I can make them last one more lap. Oh gosh, never mind the fuel I've got. I've got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Oof, it's going to be close. I'm going to have to fuel save like anything. I don't know if I can make this 1 lap work because it came up 1 lap halfway through the previous lap, so it's going to be a close call. I'm definitely going to say that. Surprisingly enough, we didn't manage to catch up to Alan Gustavo, that is in position 5. I really wasn't pushing the car, I've got to be honest. I started letting off when I started to see myself eating through the tyres. There we go. The back left tyre is now showing a minor wear. Nope, both rear tyres are showing minor wear. Hopefully we can make it this last lap. We only have a 2.5 second penalty. The car in front is 18 seconds away with 7.15 second penalty. They've pitted 3 times though, so they must have gone medium, medium, medium. Which is great really, because it goes to show that if you have a different strategy, you're not massively at a disadvantage. I do wonder though if it is actually better. I mean, they are 17 seconds ahead of me right now, and that is quite a substantial lead, but they also had a better run than I did a few times throughout the race. I did make a few hiccups here and there, so that has cost me nothing but time. It's hard to tell if it's a better strategy. Looking at position 1, they've only pitted twice. They've gone either hard, 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 or hard, hard, medium. I do think it'd be a great investment if Forza put down on the leaderboard what tyres people use. So you see where it says pits and how many times they've pitted. Next to that, I mean, there's plenty of space. Just put down what tyres they are on at this moment. It can't be too hard to implement. You know, there's plenty of space. Quite nice. There you go. Leaders just crossed over the line. We have 2 minutes to finish the race. Oh dear. We are 97 seconds away. So unless we fall off the track, we're going to have that position. Well, we're not going to have a DNF. That's what I'm trying to think. I can't get the words out. It was a long race. It's been a long, long race. We are catching up to Alan Gustavo, 402 up in front though, 15.5 seconds away. So I wonder if they went medium, 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 if their tyres are absolutely shredded. Oh dear. My front left-hand tyre has come up with minor wear now. I've only got 1 tyre that's still in the white, and that one's not going to be far behind. You can see the tail coming out as I go around that corner. The tyres are really starting to show their age now. Car is tired, the tyres are tired, the human driving the car is tired. It has been a long, but it's absolutely brilliant race. There we go, all 4 tyres are on minor wear. So I'm going to take my time coming around this corner, try and be gentle with the car, rather than finish the race and lose a few attempts than up. The car in front's gone off. 3.8 seconds away. Come on, come on, we can make it work. They're still off the track. Yes, go on, pass them, pass them, pass them, pass them, pass them. There we go, we've got that position gain. Position 5 is ours. Well, I'm not going to catch up with Super Ninja, who's 52 seconds ahead with an 8.3 second penalty. Wow, that car really put its work through, because they were behind me for most of the beginning part of the race. So the latter half of the race, they really sent it. Well done to them. Anyway, coming over the lines, making it work, taking as slow as we can. We finished the 1 hour endurance race in position 5. Yes, and we gained 9 places overall. Absolutely smashing. What I don't understand is, you can see the total race time is 1.03.11. How am I at 1 0.04.54 for the total race time. I mean, I got 4 penalties overall as well. Best race time is that? I don't get it. I don't get it. But we got 5th position. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Good night.